So today we are going to make a foldable that will teach us how to graph on the Cartesian or the coordinate plane. So you should have a legal size paper here, and I've put a picture here of the Cartesian plane in the middle of it. And if you will fold it in half hot dog style, open it back up, and if you will fold to the middle right there, hopefully that y-axis will be right in the center, if I copied it correctly. And the whole purpose of folding it in hot dog half is so it'll give us these nice little straight lines here. So I'm going to cut on this line. That's going to help us create our x-axis. So for the Cartesian or coordinate plane, we have 4 quadrants. The first quadrant, quad being the root word meaning 4, this is quadrant 1 here. We go counterclockwise. We've got quadrant 2 on the top left. Quadrant 3 is on the bottom left. And then last we have quadrant 4. On the bottom right. We also have 2 axes. Here, the one that runs horizontally is called the x-axis. And to be on the x-axis, you're going to have a number as the x-coordinate. And to be on the right side, you're going to have a positive number and then a 0. And over here on this side of the x-axis, you're going to have a negative number and a 0. This point right here in the middle is called the origin, because that is the beginning. That's where you start when you are graphing an ordered pair. This axis that runs vertically is called the y-axis. And if you have 0 and then a negative number, it's going to be down here underneath the origin. And if you have 0 and then a positive number, it's going to be above the origin on the y-axis. So there's what we've got on the front of it. Then on the inside of quadrant 1, you are going to have the x-coordinate is positive and the y-coordinate is positive. On quadrant 2, the x-coordinate is going to be negative and the y-coordinate is going to be positive. On quadrant 3, Notice that there, for each ordered pair, there are two numbers because it's a pair, and they are surrounded by parentheses with a comma in the middle. So for quadrant 3, you're going to have two negatives. For the x and the y coordinate, you will have both negatives. And then for the last one, it's going to be the inverse of the one that's diagonal from it. See, this one's the inverse of this quadrant. Okay, so there's that relationship. So if this one's the inverse of the one that's diagonal, we're going to have a positive x coordinate and a negative y coordinate. This is our Cartesian, or our coordinate plane. Depends on to whom you're talking, what they call it. All right, and we've got our ordered pairs. And a pair is two numbers. Let's zoom in here. So the x coordinate is the first number in the ordered pair. And the y coordinate is the second number in the ordered pair. So our steps for graphing an ordered pair. First things first, you always start at the origin. Second step, the x coordinate, which is the first number. If it is positive, then you're going to go right. If that first number is negative, you will go left from the origin. Third, after that, you are going to be on the x-axis somewhere. So from that x-axis, the y-coordinate, which is the second number, if it is positive, you will go up however many spaces. And if it is negative, you go down that many spaces. There, you're going to put a dot And that dot is going to be on the corner if you're dealing with whole numbers. Okay, it's going to be on a corner, not in the middle. Okay, it's going to be on a corner, as long as you're dealing with whole numbers. And then you need to label that point. Another thing I would like to tell you that has been a key mistake that I've seen repeatedly over the years is this. When you're here, this is 0. When you move, this is 1. If you're stuck here on the x-axis and you're ready for your y-coordinate, you're on 0 for the y until you move, and that's when you count 1, 2, 3, 4. So the key thing here is count when you move. Okay? You're at 0 until you've made a move. So let's take some examples here. Let's say we're dealing with -2, 8. Following my steps, we start at 0. My first number is -2, so I move left 2. My second number is 8, so from here, this is 0 on the x-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is the location of -2, +8. Change colors. If I were dealing with 4, 5. Start at the origin. This is 0. I'm going to move right because that first x-coordinate is positive. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. My y-coordinate is 5. It's positive. I'm going to move up. This is 0 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Label it. -2. Start at the origin again. I have a positive 5 x-coordinate, so I'm going to move to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My y-coordinate is -2, so I'm going to move down from the x-axis. I'm on 0 here. Move down -1, -2. Put a dot on the corner. Here is 5, -2. -7, -8. Start at the origin. My x-coordinate is -7. It's the first number. From the origin, I move left. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My y-coordinate is -8. I go down for the negative y-coordinate. This is 0 from the x-axis. -1, -2, -4, -5, -6, -7, -8. This is the location of -7, -8. Let's do on an axis. Let's say -12 and 0. I know it's going to be on the x-axis because it has a number for x, but 0 for y. It's going to be on the x-axis. So start at the origin. This first number is -12. It says move left